I hope everyone is clear about their Mapreduce program. So do you want me to explain the Mapreduce program, how the input splits will be created, how the recorder is reading, how the map method execute, then what is the map method output, how word comma one, how word comma one will come, after that what will happen? Do you need to explain the complete flow? If you guys, we already discussed. If you want me to explain, I will explain one more time with a detailed explanation by taking a simple example. Shall we go and see that? Okay, so let me explain, because anyway we have written the word count program, because that's very much important. We need to understand what is happening internally when the MapReduce program is launched. So if you understand that, that will be very easy to write any other programs. Okay, first you need to understand what the map output I'm going to do, what the reducer output I'm going to do. You should understand that first. As soon as you understand that, yes, that then you can write any program. You can write any program. Okay, let's look at guys here. I'm going to write some small text. I'm going to explain the complete word count program with an explanation with an explanation. Okay, by the time, let me start this. Okay, let's take some content. This 5 lines I'm taking as input. This 5 lines I'm taking as input. These 5 lines are input. Let me take it this as another line. Okay, these are the 6 lines. The 6 lines are input. Okay, now look at guys here. This is my text file. This is my text file. Okay, so this text file size is, let's assume that, so I need 3 input splits. So if 3 input splits, so 384 is my file size. This file is java.txt. Its size is 384 MB. My block size is 128 MB. My block size is 128 MB. Guys, please concentrate. This is the final time I'm going to explain the detailly what will happen internally. So this is the last time I'm going to explain. Okay, so my block size is 128 MB. This file is java.txt. Okay, now I want to find out how many words are there in it, and I mean each word how many times is repeated it. So I'm going to find the word count for this. So I'm going to find the word count. So if it is 128 is my block size, so it will be divided into 3 blocks, correct? It will be divided into the 3 blocks. So let's look at here. I'm going to divide this into 3 blocks. This is the block 1. Let me change the color. This is block 1. I'm going to change. So I'm going to take one more block. Now this will be block 2. This is block 2. So why I have taken 3 blocks? Why I have taken 3 blocks? Because the total file size is 384 MB. Total file size is 384 MB. Total file size is 384 MB, and each block is 128 MB. So it will come into 3 blocks. I hope everyone knows about it. Correct? Now, so let's take an example. Let's take an example. Now, this is my HDFS. So where I have a data in a java.txt. Here I have a data in it. Here this is the place where I have a data in it. This is the place where I have a data in it. So if the data is there, how many blocks it will be divided? How many blocks the data has been divided? 3 blocks. 3 blocks. Correct? The data is divided into 3 blocks. Block 1, block 2, block 3. Right? So but I'm not going to take it as a block here. Why? Because this is my processing. Here I'm going to talk about the processing. This is the HDFS. Inside the HDFS there are multiple blocks. Now I'm going to talk about the file which I'm going to process. So as soon as I taken this file as input, so what is the default input format? I want everyone please unmute and talk. So I want to understand whether you guys, yeah, I want to understand you guys are able to follow or not. Okay. Please everyone, when I ask the question, please unmute and talk. Please don't be silent. Because this is the last time I'm going to explain how internal it is going to work. Okay. So what is the type of my data? Data is text type. So if it is a text type, what is the input format?
Text input format.
What about other guys? So only one guy is responding. What about others? Ganesh, Aparna, Anisha, what happened? You guys able to follow or not?
Yeah, Ravi, actually, I was not able to hear you properly. No one was hearing you.
Are you guys not able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Able to hear.
Ganesh, you?
Yeah, now I'm able to hear you, Ravi. Yeah.
Okay. What about others? Okay. So I'm using a text file. I'm taking as a text file. I'm giving input as a text file to my Mapreduce. So as soon as I give as a text file, so either I can set into my driver class saying the text input format. In my driver class, I can set as a text input format. Or if I didn't set any input format file in any input format into my driver class, by default it will take text input format. It will take automatically text input format. So as soon as I take a text input format as an input format to process my data, it will divide the input splits. It will divide the input splits based on, it has its own formula. Okay, it has its own formula. We will see that what is that formula. It will divide the input splits. So this is split 1, split 2, split 3. It will divide 3 input splits. So as soon as I use the text input file format, it will calculate the input splits, and also it will also it's also launch a record reader. It's also launch a record reader. What is a record reader? First try to understand what is input split. The input split is a logical representation of a data which has to process by single mapper. A logical representation of data, it is not a physical. So here my input split tell that okay, you start reading from here and you end here. My input split tell that this is your starting position of the reading. Let's say it's a 0 and this is maybe 100, so you have to read from 0 to 100. My input split telling to a framework, so for single mapper you have to read from the 0 to 100, right? So then who will read that? Then who will read that? There is a specific guy for that, that's called record reader. Record reader, there is a specific person for it who will read the data. That guy is your record reader. Your record reader. So what record reader will do? The record reader object, the record reader object will read input split line by line. That is what we are calling it as a record reader. So because you are using text input format, internally it uses line record reader as a class. Internally it uses line record reader class. So you guys may not able to understand what are they. So as soon as you taken the text input format, in as soon as you taken as a text input format, internally what will happen, it has a mechanism to how to calculate the input split, and it has a mechanism how to read the data. So default input format is text input format, and it has its own input splits calculation, and the default record read is line record reader. Line record reader, what is that? It is record reader. Why we are calling it as a record reader? Because it will read from the record wise. It will read as a record wise, line by line. It will read line by line. So your inputs, your data has been whole data, which is then HDFS has been calculated as an input split. This input splits, the whole data has been divided into input splits. These input splits are reading by your record reader. These input splits are reading by record readers. After reading this record reader, the record reader, after reading this record, it will convert your record, your line into key value pair. It will convert into key value pair. How it will convert into key value pair? Because we are using text input format. Because we are using a text input format, there is something called offset. Each file will start with some offset, 0 offset, and it start counting all the characters, 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. So for one record, for one line, still it find the slash n character. Still it find the slash n character. It will start with the 0 for first mapper. Okay, then what is the offset of this? So the next, what is offset of this? Next, what is offset of this? Next, what is offset of this? So it will calculate the offset of the each and every line, and that offset is a key. Your record reader gives you key value pairs. It gives you key value pair. Key value pair. So we are using a line record reader, or we are using a default record reader. My key is nothing but offset. Guys, offset is nothing but what, suppose if I take this line, okay, whatever the line I have taken, let me take and show you here. So let's assume that this is my data set. Forget about above. So my line is started from here. So my starting position of this is a record offset, 0 1 2 3 4 and so on. That is the line, not the line number. Don't say it's a line number. No, line number is different and offset is different. Offset is starting with the 0 and counts how many characters are there in the same line till it find a slash n. Okay, and the next line when it comes, it's 0, it started with 0. Let's assume that here end with the 20 and here it will be 21 your next line. But if it's a line number, the second line should be second. Then how come it will be 21? So that is the reason. Okay, don't say it is a line number. Okay, so now your record reader reads the record and converts into key value pair. How it will convert into key value pair? That we need to look at. So it will convert into key value pair. The key is offset. It's already calculated. The key is offset. It's already calculated. So what is the value? The value will be complete line. Starting position to end position is the complete line is your value. Complete line is your value. Complete line is your value. Now what is our requirement? What is our requirement? Our requirement is to calculate the each word how many times it's repeated, right? So what we will do, respect to map method will write, respect to map method we will write, respect to map method we have written. As soon as we have written this map method, what will happen? As soon as it read the first line, it will give the key to this guy. It will give the key value to these guys. As soon as it read from the record reader, as from this read from the input split, and it will hand over to it will hand over to map method. It will hand over to map method. What map method will do? It will take the key value pair. Key is offset, value is the complete line. It will take the key value pair. It will take the key value pair. After taking the key value pair, what it will do? Look at here. So I'm going to show you the code. By the time it loads, okay, by the time it loads. So what we have written, if you guys remember, what is the map method we have written here? I'll show you the snippet of the code. In the map method, who takes the key, we'll call as the key 1. We will take the value 1. Okay, it will take the key and value. What we have done, the value will be in the form of text format. Why it is text format? Because your record reader is a Hadoop record reader. It is not a Java. So because it uses the Hadoop data types. So we have already seen what is Hadoop data types, right? So your key will be long writable. Your value will be text data type. There is something called text data type. Now the value, so I need to find the words from the line. How will I find words from the line? Because I do not have a, first I need to break it. So if I want to get the words from the line, I need to break it. Either I need to use split, or either I need to use something called tokenizer. I need to break into words based on the space. Correct? So the text, the default data type of the Hadoop, the text does not have a split method, or you cannot pass your text object to tokenizer. You cannot pass your object to text tokenizer. So there is something called tokenizer, string tokenizer. The string tokenizer class will take string only or character array. It will take string only, but it's a text. As soon as you pass to, you cannot pass your text data type to string tokenizer. So we have something called string tokenizer. Tokens equal to new string tokenizer, where it is expecting some your string type plus the space, I mean delimiter, right? So if I give here text, if I give as a value, it will not recognize, it will fail. So what I need to do, I need to convert your value into string, value dot to string. Okay, after converting into string, and I pass the string here, by space wise I'm divided it. After dividing it, it will come into tokens. So I have written while loop here. So something I have done, and in this while loop, ctx dot write word comma 1. I have emitted word comma 1. What is the word comma 1? Why we are emitting word comma 1? Who will tell? Who will tell why I am writing this? See here, I'm taking a text value. So value is a text data type. So text data type cannot be understood by a tokenizer. So then I have converted into string. That string I have passed to tokenizer. From the tokenizer, I'm calculating the tokens. I'm going through each and every token. I'm finding the word and one. One is nothing but number one, and word is nothing but your text data type. Why I'm doing word comma one? Why I'm emitting word comma one?
For each occurrence of the word, we are emitting one.
For each occurrence of the word, we are specifying one. Even though in the single line, the word is multiple times, but whenever I find the word, I'm just emitting one. Why? Because I have something called aggregation part at the below layer. So aggregation part can taken care in the layer, below layer. So that is the reason I'm just emitting one word comma one. After that in reducer, what I'm doing, before getting into reducer, what will happen? There is something called short and shuffle. That will be short and shuffle. Let's look at guys here. So I'm going to show that complete details here now. So everyone knows about the map logic. I'm removing the map logic, but I needed some space. That is the reason I'm removing all this, because I need some space to show you the difference. Okay, now what is the map logic? Can anyone tell me? What is the map logic? Word comma one. So you guys can tell me what is the first word in the first line, because it will read the first line only, right? So I have something called, how many mappers will be launched for this file? How many mappers has been launched for this file?
3 mappers.
3 mappers. Very good. Map 1, I'm putting differently. Map 2 and map 3. Okay, you guys tell me what is the map 1 will process. When the map 1 is processing, what is the output of the mapper 1? What is the output of the mapper 1?
Word comma one beta.
What is that? Word comma 1 only. What is that? Tell me from the input.
It comma one, should comma one,
Yeah, one by
B
one.
comma one,
One
sim.
by one by one, please. So I want to make a note of everything. So I want to show you the complete difference here. So what is the first one? IT
IT comma
comma
1.
1.
It comma one,
Okay. Should comma 1. Next B comma 1. Next simple comma 1. Next object oriented comma 1. It's a single word. Object oriented comma 1. The next one, distributed comma 1. Distributed comma 1. Next and comma 1.
distributed double comma beta.
Sorry, distributed.
Distributed after the comma also will consider as. After distributed comma also will consider as a word, I guess, right? Beta?
It will consider word. I'm just, where is it? After distributed, you don't have a comma here. Before that, you have a word. Oriented, object oriented, you have a comma. Actually, here a comma
Yeah,
will come.
before that.
So I'm not taking care of that. So forget about this special
Okay.
characters. So and comma 1. Next easy comma 1. We are dividing by space, right? So before that space, after the space, whatever it is, everything will come. 2 comma 1. Learn comma 1. Learn dot comma 1. If you want to say like learn comma 1. Okay. Then next line. It's a process first line. What is the next line? Again, it comma 1. And should comma 1. Next, guys, go ahead.
B comma 1.
Others didn't understand why I'm writing this.
And comma 1.
Aparna, you didn't understand why I'm writing this. Anisha, Akash,
Yes, sir.
Sai, Venkatesh, Venkat, Nikesh. What
Yes, sir.
happened? Then what is the problem? No
Yes,
one is
sir.
telling. I want to understand whether you guys understood or not. That's the reason. Okay, this is the mapper 1. This is the mapper 1. What is the mapper 2 output? Speak out, guys.
8, 1,
Comma 1
2, 1,
should comma 1,
B,
B comma
1,
1, independent
independent,
comma 1,
1,
off comma 1, A comma 1, given comma 1, computer comma 1, architecture comma 1, R comma 1, platform comma 1. Right? Next, here again. So it comma 1, should comma 1, and B comma 1, and very
very,
1, and perfect performant comma 1. Okay, this is mapper 2. And what is the mapper 3 output? Again, it comma 1, should comma 1, B comma 1, possible comma 1, 2 comma 1, right comma 1. Nikesh, why I am writing word comma 1? Nikesh, Sai, why I am writing word comma 1? Why can't I write 2? Why can't I write 3? Why I am writing 1? Sai, Nikesh, and so on. So what happened? My mapper 1, mapper 2, mapper 3 is given multiple outputs. My mapper 1, mapper 2, mapper 3 is given multiple outputs. Right? So each output is key comma value. Each output is a key comma value. Yes or no, guys? So after this, the map is given, the map will emit the output like this. This output will go to as a spill file. So I'll talk about the files later. This output will go to hard disk. Right? After the output will go to here, what will happen? There is some layer, right? We have discussed something called short and shuffle layer. We have discussed something called short and shuffle layer. What it will do? First, it will copy the output of all your mappers. So it will take into the memory. All output will be copied. So after copying, here it will shuffle and sort. Shuffle and sort. Shuffle and sort means. So let me tell you what is the shuffle and sort. Shuffle and sort means what it will do. It will shuffle all your keys and will sort by the keys. So what is the first key will come here? A. It will take all the output. From all the mappers. Right? What is the first key it will come? A. So here it is there. How many times the A came? Only once. So first it will shuffle and it is sorting. Shuffle means all will be merged. All will be clubbed. After clubbing, it is sorting and it will be grouping. it will be grouping. So now A came only once. That is one key value pair. After A, what is the next? A and D, and. Is there any other word we start with A? Also. There is something called also. So it came only once. A and an, it came only once. A and it came 1 comma 1 two times, right? 2 or 3 times. So like that it will be shuffled and grouped. Let's say it came. Let's take an example. It came how many times? 1, 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. 5 times it came. Correct? And should how many times came? 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 1. It means what is happening here? It is grouped and it is shuffled and is sorting and is grouping here. Grouping the values. The sorting is happening based on the keys. The sort will happen based on the keys only. The Mapreduce framework is designed such a way that by default it will sort and shuffle based on the keys only. So if you want to do by values, you have to write your custom. That we will talk later. Right? So it will sort or group by the keys. Sort by the keys. The values will be grouped. The values will be grouped. That will happen where? In your shuffle phase here. After that, it will launch reducer. It will launch a reducer. What is a reducer logic? What is a reducer logic? Look at guys here. What is a reduce logic? Just go through all the values. I'm not caring about the key. Key will be only one now. Even though the output has the keys, multiple keys, even the output has IT came multiple times, should came multiple times, B came multiple times, even though the keys came multiple times, after the shuffle and sort, the key is only once. Because I have grouped the values. By seeing the groups, by seeing the values, I can tell how many times the it came, how many times should came, how many times the word came. I can easily tell that. Yes or no? So because of that, what I'm trying to do here, I'm just concentrating on the value because my main requirement is find the word how many times it came. So it doesn't mean that word 2 times came, word comma word again word. No, I should tell the number how many times it came. I should tell the number the whether the word came 2 times, 20 times or 100 times. I should tell that number. Okay, so that is I'm doing here. What I'm trying to do here, I am going through complete my value, looping through my value, and I'm doing a sum. I'm doing a summation. Sum equal to sum plus. Initially sum will be 0. Then I'm doing. We have explained this in last class. Again, I'm explaining for the sake of you guys. People are asking me to explain one more time. So all the sum will be going here. After that, if you look at here, outside the while loop, because after finding the sum, then I'm emitting the value. It means for each key, only one value will be there. For each key, only one value will be there. But at the mapper phase, each key have one value. So the key is multiple times repeated. But when they come to the reducer phase, only one key, one value. So that also will come in the form of sorting order. That also comes in the form of sorting order. So reducer will execute here. And the final output will be, it will be displayed A one time, also one time, it will be single file only, it 5 times, should 5 times, like that the output will come. Is everyone is clear about this? Any doubt? Guys, unmute and talk. I don't know whether you guys are at the front of the computer or just logged
No,
in the
Ravi,
meeting.
no doubt.
Clear, clear, Veera, but I have a doubt.
Go ahead.
What if the line is, not ending with slash and it completes with 64 MB, whatever the block size it is, it completes with a single line.
So if it is one line, it is 64 MB, 128 MB you're talking about.
More, yeah, more than 120 MB also.
So that's the other case. So that I'll be explaining you now here. I mean the next class. So what will happen? So we have
Okay.
seen before also. What will happen if your line is going beyond the block? So your logical representation it will let's assume that your three blocks are there. Okay. Let's assume the two blocks only. So one block is one line is started from this block is not ended. It's ended in the half of the block. Okay. In this case, your input split will read till here. It will be processed by single mapper. The rest of the part will be launched by one mapper.
Okay.
Your input split will span more than one block. It will go beyond one block, more than one block.
Yeah. Okay.
What about others? Anisha, Aparna, Ganesh.
It's clear, Veera. It's clear.
Okay. You guys are telling me now clear. If I ask the question, if you didn't answer, then I'll tell. Okay. Please concentrate. This is
Uh,
really important.
Ravi,
Yeah, Ganesh.
Ravi, now this key value pair is it is in the mapper one. It is telling like it is taking like word comma one.
Mapper output it is. Mapper
So
is not taking. Mapper
yeah,
is giving you word comma one.
yeah, mapper output.
Uh,
So this while reading that record, for all for generic for everything it will take like that only. But like that, I'm asking like how it will be reading. While reading, it has to read like a key value pair, right?
so you're talking about mapper phase or reduce phase.
Mapper face.
Mapper phase it will read as a offset and complete line. Your mapper will read. See how many questions are raising now. So this program we have discussed 2 days before. You guys are asking the questions now. Huh? See here. What I'm trying to do here. This is my key, which is offset. The complete line is a value. I'm taking the complete line. I am breaking the line. Who is breaking the line? We are breaking the line because I want the words. From the line, we want the words. Look at here. Record reader reads the given. This, let's assume that this is one line. Now I want to break this line into words. What I will do? If a line has to be break into words, what we need to do? We have to delimit it by some space or comma, whatever it is. We need to identify what is the delimit. So here I don't have any comma or tab, but I have something called space, single space. So I'm delimiting by single space. I'm breaking into words. And while I'm giving output of the mapper, word comma one I'm giving. It will not read directly from the line. Your map will not read directly from the word one. It will not read your mapper. Your mapper will read complete line. And we have to break it because based on our code, we have to break it. See here in our code,
Okay.
we are breaking it. You guys didn't see.
No.
Tomorrow, you guys need to show me the code in your Eclipse. In map method, I am breaking it here. Tokenizer, I am doing, or I can do split. I can use a split method. I can use split method here. You guys are not practice Java programs. You didn't do it. I can use split method. So I can specify here. What is my split? So, but it will give me array of strings. I need to so this is also fine. Now we got the array of strings. You can traverse through array and you can find it. We need to do like that. We are breaking it. Your framework is not by default reading as a word comma one word comma one. How your framework knows to read as word comma one? Your framework will not know it. We are writing the code in the map method. Your framework code, nothing will be there. Yesterday what we have seen the default mapper, default reducer. Your framework class we have seen yesterday. What is there in the map method? Nothing is there. Is there anything mapper method apart from writing? Nothing is there. Okay.
Yeah, got it, Ravi. Thank you. Yeah.
Any other doubts? Okay, guys. So that's it. So this is how it will work internally. Tomorrow I'm going to show you how the input splits will be calculated, how the record reader will execute. So then we'll move to the next programs. So I want to get you the idea how it is working internally first. Then if you go for the programs, it will make you easy and it will make you understanding for writing the your own programs. Okay, it's not like just we're mugging up the existing programs. We need to understand what is the input, how the input splits are calculating, how the record rates are calculating, then what will be my logic in the map. So for the specific problem statement, what will be my logic for the problem statement. So then what will be reducer logic for my statement, whether I need a reducer or not, is a map method itself is enough to handle it or not. So we are going to discuss about these things in the coming classes. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to explain completely. I'm going to show you how input format works with the source code and how input split will be calculated with the formula, how the record reader will read with the source code. I will be showing that. So that will be the final class to explain you detailedly what is input split and record reader. So if you still have a doubt, please contact me. We will have a one-to-one class. Yeah, thank you guys.